All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all. Which room did the bellboy come out of? The victor's room, huh? Hold on a second. I gotta see something. Okay. I was just checking the time of the murder. Empty-handed. Yes. True. Is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. There really isn't. Yes, I know that, Mr. Edgeworth. Damn it. You're saying it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed? I don't find that suspicious. At least not that part. True. Please don't be so quick to judge. I guess the thief and an assassin are both sneaky and silent. Yes, I know. I have no intention of giving in at all. I'm not buying it. Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Powers. You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. So, a baseball has stitches. You're saying that all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? I'd like to ask the court to take a look here. There is a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Corita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. Now, if you would look at what is on top of the table on the lower right corner here, anyone could clearly see that it is a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. The bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Corita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Corita was already dead at the time? The bellboy was empty-handed, or should I say empty-handed. I recall you had said something. You had something to say about his hands. Bingo. Gloves, huh? Almost like driving gloves. Or gloves worn by a thief or an assassin. That's true. Boy, this makes it... Boy, does this make the bellboy really look suspicious? I gotta focus. I can't lax here. A lot of bellboys wear gloves. So, football is made of leather. The rest, huh? The second meeting. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room? Some accident. I'd say you saw too much. All of it was suspicious to high heaven. Very well, Your Honor. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying? What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Gave something to this person. And what was this something? This implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you can't remember, Mr. Powers? This is an incredibly crucial piece of information. Please try to remember what it was. In the meantime, let's talk about another point, namely what the bellboy did next. Where did the bellboy go after leaving Mr. Engarde's room? Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of the ordinary at that time? I think we know who that was. I think we can forget about the alien. Is that what you saw while you were busy spying? Who took this something? The bellboy handed it off. Only an arm? So you're saying you didn't see the person's face? When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you could see was the person's arm. Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Bingo. Got it. A statue? Looks like this trial. Looks like for this trial to proceed, I'm gonna have to come up with something this statue thing is and show it to him. What did the bellboy have to do after that? Where did the bellboy go after he left Mr. Onguard's room? Bingo! I know exactly what it is. Objection, Your Honor. I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Powers, is something you saw, was it this item? Joey the killer assassinated Juan Corrida in his room. Then he stole this wooden statue from the scene of the crime. Goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Algard is the killer's client. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. It has to be something that we've overlooked. Your Honor, a moment, please. There's still a few points left that we have not fully explored. I think it's fairly obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. This was found at Mr. Onguard's mansion. However, Mr. Ongard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that this murder occurred. Since this murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Ongard who took this bear to his mansion. What? Huh? There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. There was one thing in Mr. Power's testimony that was very unclear. And that is the identity of the person who received the bear. As long as we don't know who it was who took that bear, we can't be sure of. What? You've gotta be kidding! So the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. As we all know, Matt Allgard is the Nickel Samurai. Damn it. No! No! Oh, shit. Objection, Your Honor. There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at On Guard Mansion. However, it's possible that all this work is all the work of a certain other person. What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. Yes. Bingo. I knew this was coming. Adrian Andrews. Yes. We already know that she tried to frame Matt Allguard for the crime. By wearing a spare nickel samurai costume. That could have very well been Miss Andrews. If you please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period. It was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I cannot give up on. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to On Guard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Yup, that is the real Matt On Guard. Creepy little freak, isn't he? I will be right back. Alright. Now, back to business. Thank you. Creepy freak. Yeesh. I definitely wouldn't. If I was a lawyer for real, I definitely would not have to deal with him. Steven will pay. Pearl, where's Mia? Really strong power. What? How about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? What? We don't have any more time! I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, gotta keep this trial going until Maya is rescued. Have I run out of luck this time? Is it all hope for naught? Mia! The very big circus! Up. It's only a matter of time before Maya is rescued. I can do this. Just have to make this trial last a little bit longer. Court will now reconvene. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you've been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. To ascertain. Now, have you seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Miss Andrews, would you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? Where is she? Elaborate puzzle. Ah, it is a puzzle. You can tell by the marks on it. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. Almost reminds me of the Millennium Puzzle from Yu-Gi-Oh! At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, you don't know the order. If you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. A small jewelry box. kind of reminds me of the Thinker as well. Thinker is a statue, but it was also a table clock. Puzzle? True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. What kind of puzzle is this exactly? So you could take it apart, and how would one go about doing that? Interesting. What do you find after you take the puzzle apart? And how do you know about this? Huh? This was a present from you? So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Very well. Who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? True. Who else knew that the bear was actually a small container or jewelry box? The two of you, huh? And of course, that means Mr. Ongar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Huh? Yes, I know that, Mr. Edgeworth. What is inside this box? That's what we're gonna find out next. Witness? You are the only one who can open this. Please. The painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. Ah! Oh my God. I know exactly what that is. That is the suicide note. Bingo. The suicide note left by Juan Carita's former manager, Celeste Impacts. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts. But just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Carita himself. It seems Celeste Impacts had very beautiful handwriting. And she was just as beautiful, and she just beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left before she committed suicide. Because it had already been taken by the killer. You obviously don't know a lot about the rules of law, Azoth. What is written on the note? That's true. That's off. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate if the contents of this note may be made known. I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Actually, Azoth, if it's relevant to the case, then yes, the judge can actually read it aloud. Or have either a witness or bailiff do so, if the judge does not plan to do so themselves. I know, and I'm not one to joke around, as you can tell. The judge's voice rang aloud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. No, it's all right. Jokes are fine. I just don't make them myself. In her note, Celeste Pax left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Engard. About being engaged to Karita and Engard's role in destroying that. Yes, we're good. And about how she decided in her despair to end it all. There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engard. Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. Matt Engard values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. Basically, what would have happened is his entire reputation and possibly his entire career would have gone right down the drain if that note had been made public. He would basically be publicly humiliated. At any cost. That's true. Mr. the Killer's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found inside the defendant's house. That's true, Your Honor. He doesn't deserve any sympathy. Now there's one thing I should mention before we end this. It's also the main reason why I've been making so many saves. If you screw up even once... Now, this is actually the one game that actually has two endings.